We got a bit more info on the upcoming second PSVR headset yesterday, mostly in the form of new images and the actual headset design. Previously, we've only been allowed to see what the controllers look like, but Sony has finally decided to violently rip the entire stage curtain back and display it all for everyone to gasp in shock and awe at. And you're looking at it right now. It's certainly minimalistic, I'll give it that. The actual PlayStation blog post author, Hideaki Nishiro, who just happens to be the Senior Vice President, Platform Experience, describes the design as, quote, stunning, end quote. That's it. He also clarifies that the design of these Sense controllers as depicted here are the final look. Hats off to the design team, the controllers still look like goddamn underwear to me, and I'm getting a kind of mental asylum/criminal deprogramming device vibe from the headset itself. Very nice. The design team apparently tried to match the look of the PSVR2 with that of the PS5, foregoing the edges present on the console and allowing us to experience the pinnacle of curvaceous virtual reality hardware. Another explanation given for this fresh new look is, according to the PlayStation blog post, quote, there was more emphasis on adding roundness to the design of PSVR2 headset since it is meant to have constant human contact, end quote. I'm assuming if you leave it alone for an extended period of time in the back of your closet or on that one shelf where you keep all of your old console boxes for some reason, it just simply dies of loneliness. Man, technology sure has come a long way since 8 megabyte memory cards. If you're an individual cursed with a monstrously deformed head because God hates you, have no fear. The blog post goes on to describe in detail how not only have they managed to somehow allow the PSVR2 to work with almost all head sizes, or at least a lot of them, they would also really appreciate it if the headset became a permanent, quote, attractive part of your living room decor, end quote. That's right, folks. Sony has officially given you permission to leave your virtual reality headset out there for all to see, because it's really cool and it's really curvy, and the second your date sees it, all of their doubts towards your mental health condition are pushed to the side and replaced with raw, aggressive sexual energy directed solely at you. And later on that night, you'll be lying there thinking to yourself, wow, thanks PSVR2. Thank you, Sony. So we've discussed how the headset can improve your love life. Now let's go through the new shit added. A lens adjustment dial has been implemented so you can fine-tune just how much eye strain you want to deal with at any given time. The new headset also weighs less than the previous iteration. The PlayStation blog post mentions that this was achieved despite the inclusion of the motor for the revolutionary head vibration feature. And last but not least, the vent has been completely redesigned. The SIE senior art director Eugene Morisawa was at the forefront of the new PSVR2 design, and there's a lovely quote included in the article sharing his thoughts on how fantastically amazing the new vent is. It says, quote, when I started to work on the design for the PlayStation VR2 headset, one of the areas I wanted to focus on first was the idea of creating a vent in the headset to let air out, similar to the vents on the PS5 console that allows airflow. Our engineers came up with this idea as a good way to allow ventilation and avoid having the lens fog up while players are immersed in their VR games. I worked on many design concepts to achieve this, and in the final design you can see there is a little space in between the top and front surface of the scope that contains the integrated ventilation. I am really proud of how this turned out, and the positive feedback I've gotten so far. I hope our PlayStation fans will also agree, and I can't wait for them to try it out. Eugene Morisawa, Senior Art Director, SIE. End quote. The next bit of this blog post absolutely baffles me. Long story short, they still placed a couple of PlayStation symbols on the headset in case that was keeping you up at night for whatever reason. But weirdly, the reason they felt they needed to mention this in the blog post was because they feel the symbols add comfort for the player. I'm sure they don't mean physical comfort, because that makes even less sense. They're probably referring to emotional comfort. For example, you've just bought the new PSVR, and wow, you are one excited 12-year-old with obscenely rich parents. So you throw open the box with zero regard for how fragile and expensive this piece of technology is, and what's this? Oh my god! There are 0 PlayStation symbols to be seen! Instead, the entirety of the front and back of the PSVR2 are just dotted with Burger King logos. Oh, Jesus, there is no comfort to be had here. That's just straight up traumatic. And that's about all I've got to say and share on this new headset design. Still no release date. I don't even think we have a release window yet. Dev kits have been delivered to various studios out there, so it can't be too far out, probably. And until the next video, I'm gonna go check out my PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4 just to make sure they all have the PlayStation symbols on them, for the sake of comfort, you know.